Finally, some people are in the building who can talk college basketball. Women's college basketball.
What do you mean?
Juju and Lucy are here. Lucy is in despair. Juju, you've seen this. Lucy is hurting. She is in so much pain because of what happened to Caitlin Clark. Because
no, not just Caitlin, Kate, Gabby, the whole squad, Molly Davis. Put some respect on their names, Dan.
She's broken.
Stokey and them girls.
Oh, Hannah, I love her.
Lucy, you're our Iowa correspondent, and we are 3 days late.
Despondent.
Our Iowa despondent. You are our Iowa despondent, and we are 3 days late to you giving us the kind of emotion around here that we did not have. We had plenty of analysis. All of a sudden, everybody around here is an expert on how Kim Mulkey does her job. Everybody can give her all sorts of coaching strategies. But what we didn't have around here was a genuine emotional link to not, hey, look, man, those 19 million people, a lot of them are casuals. Like they don't care about the story, the pioneering. They're just here. Oh, look, it's the eclipse again. Let me put on my glasses. I want to be near the thing that gets 4 million more people than the men do. But Lucy's broken. Like her heart was in that thing. She cared in a way that is only 1,000 times deeper than anyone around here.
Yep.
What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing at Tony because he said in my headset as you were talking about the eclipse, about the glasses and what a fraud those glasses are.
Give me a break, the glasses, please. My dog looks straight into the eclipse. She's completely fine.
Of course.
See, this is what happens. We start talking women's sports, and all of a sudden we're on the damn eclipse. No, you were right, Dan. This is amazing. A tear came to my eye when I saw all the support these ladies was getting online. I don't care if it's good, bad. Brother, we have reached a point to where Stugotz was arguing yesterday on with Brianna Stewart, I think was at the helm.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
No
but I was
idea.
like, look at him. We've made it.
Yeah, but I was talking about it, Juju. You're right. Thank you for noticing.
Stugotz, this is excellent. Stugotz is saying we have not reached true equality in this country until Stugotz is faking it on your sport.
Zagak.
How did
Check
we
it out a box score.
How did we miss that achievement? And Lucy, in keeping with your general work for Meadowlark, which is very casual, passionate but casual, how are you 3 days late to reporting on your heartbreak around here? And how dare you ask us for more time off to take care of your mental health because Iowa lost?
One, I don't know what that means. That's
What does the casual part mean? I don't get that. Like she does her job
Boo.
casually, like in a good way or a bad way?
She's
Yeah,
lazy.
answer the
or
question.
What does that mean?
The answer is that Lucy gets to be here less frequently than everybody else working with us on the daily cooking of the meth that is going to kill us all while she's going to all the best sporting events in America on Meadowlark's dime and buying a bunch of memorabilia for her and her loved ones.
I didn't buy anything this trip. Yeah. So back off, Dan. I'm going through a lot.
Tell us what happened, because I've got a workplace complaint from Rose on you, because she says that you made her pray during the Iowa game when she didn't necessarily want to pray.
Didn't work, so didn't work.
Yeah, whose fault is that?
Thanks, God.
I don't like where we're going.
Let's
with
not
this.
blame the
This is a
Lord.
bad
Yeah, we
idea.
cannot blame the Lord
Bad
for
idea.
nothing.
Everybody
Salute to
can
the
pray,
Lord.
by the way. It's not just an exclusive
But
Rose
you
thing.
can't force somebody in the workplace to pray, can you? I don't think you can.
You're the
Private
boss around
company,
here,
I
Dan.
asked, and she said yes. And she told me that she prayed during the UConn game, and I didn't ask her to pray during that one.
I mean, we're making kids pray in public school now, so it's all really lost, you know?
I'm glad this conversation went here, really.
Yeah, that's good first few
Wanna
minutes.
talk about
Every
the
time we
eclipse?
start talking
I'm
about
so
women's
happy
sports.
to be
glasses.
Back to the
Right.
glasses. Yeah, it's a scam, by the way.
Start talking about women's sports. Now we on prayer. We on everything but the actual sport. Brother, Dawn Staley has cemented herself in legendary status. Caitlin Clark, thank you for your support and love for the game. Oh, my God, it was so beautiful to see her out there like that, brother. And them girls from South Carolina, oh, my God, Camila Cardozo. A round of applause from the top to the bottom of the squad for South Carolina.
Yeah.
The bench, oh, my goodness.
Undefeated and overlooked somehow.
Overlooked somehow.
It's crazy, right? It is. No, he's right. Imagine that happening. Imagine, Stugotz, a phenomenon getting here so strong that what we were celebrating at the end was a cult of personality that brought so many new casuals to the sport that ignores, hey, a team just went undefeated out there. And she lost. They beat the greatest player ever at the end. That's a pretty cool story. Why is it getting engulfed by the loser?
Well, at least we watched them and looked at them. We didn't even look at UConn. They won back-to-back titles in men's.
Right.
So we didn't even look.
No
At
one
least they
cares.
weren't overlooked.
Right.
I looked. I cared. Come on, guys.
Late start,
Real
though.
hoopers look.
Thank you.
Like, I've been ashamed listening to y'all the last couple of days. Y'all act like too late to watch
Nah.
the championship game.
Nah.
Like, what has happened to my heroes?
I will tell you this, Juju. For the first time ever, for me at least, I felt like Monday night, I had already seen the national championship game that I wanted to see. For the first time ever. And I had little to no interest in UConn and Purdue.
Juju is right about everything. About every single thing that he said.
Moving forward or just
well, I'm
the
willing.
last 5
I'm
minutes?
willing to negotiate on that. But when it comes to caretaking for the show, I'm here for Juju being just general ombudsman, or when you guys an ombudsman.
I
Tough
know what
one.
ombudsmans mean, but I don't think Tony know what it means. So could you just help
It's
my
when
boy out?
you got the buds and you need ombuds to keep them in line. You know what I mean?
I love
Nice.
buds.
I'm here for a segment where Juju just critiques where it is the show has been shitty the last couple of days. And I do believe that that Lucy and Juju care more about this than anyone in the room, and that Juju correctly identifies when it is that Tony's got nothing and just wants to go to the eclipse because it's more fun to talk
It's not about
the
nothing.
eclipse.
I was locked in, Dan. It's just
Right.
you said about the eclipse and you said about the glasses. It's a scam, by the way.
Right, and my boy never got nothing. My boy, I don't care what he talking about. He got something.
Thank you.
Don't do that. The vision is terrible in this building. That's my brother. I love him.
Thank you.
Tony is right about these glasses, though. There is one company that makes them. They have a monopoly. They made so much money on these things. I'm not even certain if you needed them. It's ridiculous. It's absurd.
You put 4 sunglasses in a row, and then you could look straight up at it without a problem.
Put us in the building, Lucy. Fourth quarter with all the marbles
Can
on
we
the
talk
line.
about the first quarter? I loved that quarter.
That's
That
great
quarter was
quarter.
my
Quarter
was fun.
favorite.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to have 100 points in the first quarter. I'm
So
like,
did I.
Holy moly. She didn't even cover. Ain't that a salute to DraftKings?
Rose is in the other room, and before we go to Lucy, because this is not a put on, Lucy, I'm going to say that there is no one in the state of Florida hurting more for the last 3 days because of something that happened in sports than Lucy, because she cares more about this team than anyone in this state, I would say, that any human being in this state.
In the world.
The Marlins are 1-11. Billy's a Marlin fan. I mean,
That's hurting a lot.
You know. You don't know pain.
Rose, you were with Lucy on content I'm assuming I'm going to see today at some point, Lucy, or no?
Yeah, the video's done, I believe.
Okay, good work. Rose, what happened? Explain to me what happened on Sunday with Lucy. You were with her. How crazy is she?
Oh, well, she's crazy, but that's why we like each other. But we were at the game, and then the first half was amazing. Then we got to a point where Iowa, I don't know what happened, and she was like, you know what, Rose? God loves you very much. Can you pray? And I'm like, okay, yeah. I was already praying, but I was praying inside of me, like I was, okay, God, help us here.
Private prayer. You weren't forced into some sort of public sharing prayer. You were already doing the prayer, and now she's just, she didn't know that, and she's requesting more prayer.
Yeah, so she got me to get my rosary out, so I got it out. I was okay, I'm gonna pray. And she was like, pray. Okay, I'm praying. I promise I'm praying. But the thing is, I don't think I phrased it well, because I was like, God, may your will be done. I didn't pray, hey,
No.
help Iowa.
That's not how you do it. That's how you do it.
You can't pray that.
Terrible job of praying.
Nah, you can't strong arm God.
How dare you pray like
That's
that?
how you pray.
It is his will, though. But yeah.
Oh, Rose.
Jesus.
What can I say?
No.
Learn how to pray.
No, but you
God had the Gamecocks.
Right.
messed it all up.
I know, but it was also my dad's fault, because he started watching the game, and every time he watched a game, they lose. So he was like, oh, I'm watching the game. I'm like, no, please. And he had to put it out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pray.
All right, Rose, I'm sorry, but penalty box. You prayed wrong.
What?
Yes, penalty box. Get out of here, Lucy. No, you gotta. Your will,
That's the appropriate
That's how you
prayer,
do it.
Dan. It's supposed to be God's
Lucy.
will.
That's not what Lucy
Tony
was.
met God in the forest.
He told me it's my will, not yours. And I said, okay, fine.
That's not what Lucy was asking for.
2 minutes for praying.
Lucy, you didn't.
I didn't know that.
Lucy, that's unbelievable that you asked for prayer wrong.
I didn't ask for it wrong.
You didn't want God's will be done. You wanted your will be done.
Exactly. You get it. Thank you.
Well, but that.
But did you hear Don Staley? She has a great relationship with the Lord, so his will was done. Goddamn it.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
No.
You can't put a.
GD
You
and
can't
You
use
said
it.
GOT. I'm from the hood. We say
Yeah,
GOT.
GOT,
I
yeah.
apologize. Then I was
Go sit
accountability.
with Rose.
Sit-
Go
penalty
sit
box
with
me.
Rose. 2 minutes for blasphemy.
He went from being right about everything to 2
Out.
minutes in the box.
Get out of here.
GD
Wow.
with God's
Yeah,
will.
you
It doesn't
can't
work.
do that.
Yeah.
No, that's blasphemous. Blasphemous. We won't tolerate blasphemy around here.
Thank you.
Argue that we may have just committed it just before this.
That's what the joke I was making was. Thank you for showing people behind the curtain.
It can't get much worse for me, so whatever.
That's what I was doing there.
Look at his smile.
That's the joke, executive producer. Stay with me. That's what I was doing. We just spent that time blaspheming. We yelled. Remember how mad we got when said she prayed wrong?
And then Juju used the Lord's name. in
You go
vain.
sit with them. You go sit with them.
Jeez,
2
wow.
minutes.
It's a crowded box.
Lucy, take me through your emotions, please.
Like right now, bad, really bad, not great. Been doing better.
It's been a couple days, though, Lou, so it feels like, things have
You're
gotten
3
away
days
from
They
removed.
haven't.
Right.
So
No, she came in here despondent.
I
She-
was sad.
This
I
is as
am
bad.
sad.
This was as sad as I've seen her look coming into work.
All-time sad level. So Sunday, I went into that game thinking South Carolina would win. I really did. And then the first quarter happened, and I was like, shit. Iowa might win this thing. And I got a little taste of it, I got a little glimpse in the future. And then it was all taken away from me. And I said, okay, I'm really sad. This is tough. Whatever. I'm grateful. We fly back the next morning. I rot the whole day. I just lay in bed. It was awesome. It kicked ass. And I open up TikTok, and my entire TikTok are all these edits of the Iowa team, and with all this sad music that made me cry. And I was like, oh my God, I got to stay off my phone. I stay off my phone. Then finally today or yesterday, I'm back on my phone. You know what? I cleaned. I was looking up. And then the University of Iowa posted a video of all these young kids cheering for Caitlin with the song from the Barbie movie. And that made me cry so bad. So it's just up and down and up and down. And I don't know if I'll ever be happy again.
You guys didn't feel it like that. You guys did not experience any of this the way that she did. Crushed. You were really in bed for an entirety of a day. This was a thunderstorm of darkness that swept over you.
Yes, because I have now seen my favorite team lose in the national championship twice in a row, and I've been there both times. And the last time hurt because you lost to Kim Mulkey, and that really sucks. At least this time it was to Don Staley, somebody that everybody loves, that I love. That's
There is
phenomenal.
comfort in that. There's small solace, and I don't also have to lose to this person I don't like and don't respect.
It made me so, obviously I wish I would have seen Iowa on the podium, but when I saw Don Staley dancing with the trophy, I was like, damn, I'm happy for her. I really, really am. But then it hits you that everybody's gone and it's over. And instead of just, wow, what a great season it was, congratulations to South Carolina, the whole discourse online was, is Caitlin the GOAT? Hear all what these former players are saying, blah, blah, blah. I just want a moment of peace. One moment of peace.
I have to commend Lucy because, Dan, I saw something that put a little flint rock to my heart. And it's somebody caring about something in a way that I haven't cared about something in so long.
You haven't been
that
around
muscle.
sports long enough to already be hardened here.
Dan, but what in the
great
world
point.
could get me to that
How are
point,
you
though?
a sports cynic?
Not just in sports, he's saying, just in life.
No, not in life, in
Thank you,
sports, in
Tony.
sports.
Oh, okay.
But
What-
it's I see Lucy caring so much about a particular team that I feel like I haven't had that in 15 years.
Okay, you I think have lost part of your soul because I believe that Heat fans live where Lucy is. Panther fans right now are living
Panther fan.
Living where Lucy lives.
You guys don't get it. That's not the same. That's not the same, Dan. I lost back-to-back national championship games in college athletics where it's so much tougher to win. It's so tough, especially at a school like Iowa. We don't have as much money as everyone else. We don't have as much talent as everybody else. This was a once-in-a-lifetime run. Do not compare the two.
Your pain is greater than anyone's.
Yes! Be nice to me!
Okay.
I need it!
All right. She is complaining. I am worried in general about...
I'm not complaining. I'm hurting.
Okay, but you're hurting and complaining about that hurt by lashing out at Meadowlark.
At you.
I mean, you are Meadowlark, so same thing.
But lashing out, yeah, okay, fine. Lashing out at me as we send you to what could have been the day and night of your dreams. Like what
But it wasn't.
You're mad. Yeah, but you're mad at me. You're lashing out at me, even though our company paid for you to be at what would have been the greatest sporting memory of your lifetime, never to be outdone.
Yeah, well, it didn't turn out that way, and it would have been awesome because I had this fun plan. If Iowa won, I was going to shoot off confetti cannons in the office. It was going to be awesome. And so I'm going to give myself 2 weeks to be sad. I'm going to be sad for 2 weeks, and then in 15 days, I will be so grateful because before the game started, obviously I cried multiple times. There was a moment where we were walking through the crowd, and I was like, wow, how awesome is this? What a special moment that I get to be here and watch my alma mater play and do it for work and all this awesome stuff. And then Iowa lost, and all the good feelings were gone. Yeah. That's how it goes.
All the good feelings are still here. I definitely feel
I don't
for my
have them.
sister, and it sucks. But you made it to the championship in back-to-back years. You know what I mean? As a Buffalo Bills fan, I feel your pain, ma'am. But I think that the WNBA and the women's college game right now it literally brought tears to my eyes seeing how much love and how much hate that it was receiving because back in the days, nobody cared. You go to online and back to the kitchen, get in the kitchen. Oh, this is terrible. But we're actually arguing over Diana Taurasi, Caitlin Clark, Maya Moore. This is beautiful. I'm so happy to live in this era of women's sports.
And you are always, when you come around here, you're somebody who brings positivity, but Stugotz doesn't want that. He wants to do top 5 people in sports who connote prayer. Are you ready?
That's a good one.
Number 5.
God, sham God.
Hey,
Respect.
Salute to my brother for that one.
By the way, a little high on the list.
Really?
Good
Little high.
timing, Billy. Welcome back. Number 4.
Cantavius Caldwell Pope.
KCP.
Thank you.
Number 3.
Malik Monk.
The Monkinator.
Number 2.
Kendrick Nunn.
That's a good list. It's a good list. I can't believe he got it this quickly. Number 1.
Priest Holmes.
I mean, it's a good list.
Nailed it.
He really did.
Thank you. Left out Garrett Temple.
OLI.
Good one.
We have talked a lot, Stugotz, in the growth of social media, of how good basketball has been in the modern age, of knowing how to connect the humanity of its stars to the audience, to dominate social media, which isn't the real world and isn't other media in the mainstream, so that basketball stars and stories and soap operas are something that even if the regular season is uninteresting, you will captivate us in the postseason because we're all wondering, hey, Jason Tatum, is it now that you take that last leap with the best team that you've ever had, having the best regular season it's ever had in a weekend conference, and we're all looking at the Eastern Conference the same way. Don't trust Cleveland. Oh, the Knicks are interesting. Look out for the Sixers, and what's wrong with the Bucks? And last night, the Bucks, after playing really poorly for the last 2 weeks in a way that would make no one trust the Bucks, even though in the Eastern Conference there's only one team that can say what I'm about to say. Yeah, Boston, your 2 best stars, we've got 2 who are better. There's only one team that can say it. Philadelphia can't say it. Miami can't say it. No one else can say it. It's only Milwaukee. Your 2 stars, our 2 stars, ours are better. And Milwaukee last night swamps a Boston team, and then Giannis gets hurt. And Giannis getting hurt is how fragile everything at the top of this conference is. Somebody who changes every basketball game that he's in, and soon in a couple of years, Wembanyama will ruin this all, because I've heard that giant say, that guy blocked my shot 4 times, and I told him after the first one, you're not going to do that again, and then he just kept doing it. And that Wembanyama is going to grow. But the legacy of the league and the storylines, Stugotz, are all right here in real time. All-time greats are fighting. Joel Embiid is trying to get back for what happens last night. Lower body extremity. That is something you don't want. That team, that whole thing has been built on a flimsy foundation all year. Doc Rivers has been making excuses all year, and that's the one thing you can't have happen, because even if Lillard goes down, that guy in the playoffs is something that could drag your whole team into the Eastern Conference Finals.
The interesting part with the East is, depending on how the play-in games work out, you have fascinating first-round matchups for the first and second seed in your conference, because Boston is either going to be tasked, if things remain the way that they seemingly will, with either Miami or Philadelphia. And those are teams that you don't necessarily want to go up against in the playoffs. Obviously, Miami has their
Boston
flaws,
would
which
love
we've documented.
Orlando. They would love the
They love
Knicks.
anybody but
They
those
love
two
the
teams.
Pacers.
They
love
like
the
anybody
Hawks.
but Philadelphia and Miami.
But
and
I
then
don't
Milwaukee.
I don't think they should fear anybody.
No, they shouldn't fear anybody, but you'd much rather play another team than those matchup nightmares in the first round. And then you look at it, after that, 2 through 6 is separated by 3 games. 3 through 6 is separated by just a couple of games. All of these teams can change position in the final few games of the year. So it's so interesting to see the way that shakes out and which teams are going to get what path through that postseason.
There's so many interesting things about the NBA right now, and Dan is right. You have legends of the games, and they're just fighting to get into the postseason. Fighting to be one of the 8 seeds. When you talk about Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, guys like that, and then you have Jimmy Butler in the East, you have Joel Embiid in the East. But now, because of what happened last night in Milwaukee with Giannis, you want that 7 seed in the East, don't you? You don't want the Celtics, of course. You would much prefer getting the Milwaukee Bucks now.
Yeah, I think that the Philadelphia 76ers are scarier than anybody is letting on or paying attention to right now. A healthy Joel Embiid with a healthy Tyrese Maxey, they haven't had that in a while. And now that they're putting it together, Tyrese had 52 the other day without Joel. And Joel put up big numbers last night. It's like, I think that team needs to be more feared as a whole, because like you said, with Greek Freak going out last night, it really makes the East a little more wider. You feel me? And I don't think like you saying like the changing of the guards, you think it's here right now. I think Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson have that Patrick. Sorry, excuse me. So I'm sorry.
All right, you know what, Juju? $10 because you got $5 from earlier.
Nice,
You never,
wow.
you never paid the
Accountability.
$5.
I got you right now.
You got 10. You're still carrying cash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
You got to know.
My man.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me? But I think that how Steph Curry is playing right now, I think that the same way we just all last year, Lamar, oh my goodness, Josh Allen, oh the offseason is going to be so crazy, Odell on the Ravens now. We did not pay attention to Patrick Mahomes and the greatness of the Kansas City Chiefs, and they proved themselves once again. I think that Steph Curry got that in them still.
The problem is, if they end up getting the 8th seed and have to play against Denver, it feels like it's going to come to an end very quickly, because they don't have anybody that can guard
Okay,
Jokic.
let me do this, Stugotz, because you rarely get the opportunity that we presently have, where the people listening to this have all the backstory on what I'm about to say. The Golden State Warriors changed the way the entire sport has been played. They have left the sport different than they found it. That's the legacy of this dynasty, and this is the last embers of it. Last night, they go into Los Angeles and swamp LeBron's Lakers that don't have Anthony Davis.
Of course.
The conversation I just had about, do you have the best 2 guys? Philadelphia can summon an argument for, our second guy, we like him more than Jaylen Brown, and Embiid's better than your first guy. When I'm looking at what's happening in this league, and I am telling Juju Gotti and others, Amin and everyone else, and history goes against me here, Stugotz, when I say this. These young teams, when I'm watching Minnesota, whether you think OKC is knuckleheads or not, I am seeing a difference in youth and athleticism that LeBron, oldest player in the league, still looks like so many of the LeBron things, but he's not as fast and never has been as fast as Maxey. As someone like Maxey, where you're like, holy, Gilgeous-Alexander can go anywhere he wants and no one's going to be able to do anything about it. And it's going to be the closest thing that I can see spider webbing into a different sport than what Jokic is doing, where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is changing everything, and then he's got one of those guys, Chet Holmgren, who may or may not grow into the second best guy. And you're watching it right now. The young people are coming for the old people. The Timberwolves are on the Clippers court yelling at them by winning by 18. You guys are old. You, Kawhi Leonard, I see you dragging that anchor on your ankle like you have been for 10 years. You used to be us. When you were with the Spurs, you used to. But now the young people want the league. And now, here, when we've watched this part, Stugotz, the Warriors changed it for everybody. I remember watching and being like, wait a minute, what do you mean on a 3-on-1 break? They're going to the corners. They're not going for the layup. They want 3 points, not 2. They're going to change how all of this is done. That team wins multiple championships, and we are watching all-time greats as LeBron tries to grab Kobe's legacy. We've been watching this for 15 years, and now the playoffs arrive, and nobody believes that the young knuckleheads can take out the experience of the old guys when the old guys still look old to me. It doesn't look, Stugotz, like wisdom and experience to me. To me, it looks old when I watch the young guys. And then there's Denver out there, boring as hell, but will beat everyone over the head with a 7-foot club.
Are they old guys, Denver?
No.
Okay.
No, they're young.
No, they're in the middle.
All right.
Bruh, I think that just last year, 2 years ago, the Memphis Grizzlies were so cute. Whoop that trick. Whoop, it was so cute. The young guys was taking over and the Warriors tapped that ass. You feel me? So it's like, it sound good, big bruh, but show me in the playoffs. All this is cute in the regular season, but I still watch the immaturity of some of these teams. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams at the end of certain games, brother, they still have immature moments. So show me in the playoffs.
But this is, to me, Stugotz, the reason this is so exciting is because it's a team that revolutionized the sport and belched out Kevin Durant out the side because Draymond's furnace is running now. Steph Curry is crying into his jersey because the Draymond thing is out of control, and we'll either ride that furnace to the finals where he'll kick a dude in the nuts and get ejected and he'll score 32 in a game 7. We're going to ride that until it burns out, and it's going to burn our eyes and the whole thing's going to sting. And can you take it from us? Because what I've told you is the single best thing that I have seen, better than Mahomes, better than anything, watching the aesthetic experience of what is great about sports excellence over the last 15 years. The most beautiful thing I have seen anywhere in sports is late in a game when the 72-win Warriors are changing the sport. They're down 12 and the leader's backpedaling because he's terrified of what's coming this way. A desperate champion protecting what it's earned. Holy, I'm scared of that. But we will either watch it flame out this year, likely, because it runs into too many young pieces, and then there's Jokic, and what the hell are you going to do?
Well, I was going to say the numbers of it, Dan. The teams that are already in the playoffs who have a good chance of advancing to the NBA Finals are mostly the young teams. The older guys are just fighting to get into the playoffs. But I'm with Juju on this. I think if Golden State plays Minnesota first round, that is a terror. I could see Golden State beating them in 5 games.
I don't know about that, Stu.
I mean,
Now Karl-Anthony Towns is clear for 5-on-5. He's going to probably make his way back at some point close to the playoffs. Like, that's a dangerous team. Anthony Edwards is the truth. He's that next guy. We look at, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We look at the Nuggets. We look at the Celtics. It's like, wait, have you guys seen Anthony Edwards play? I know it's on the West Coast. I know it's in Minnesota.
Tony,
I know it's far away.
This is why I think the league is about to be taken from the old guys this year. Like, this is the year. Jokic is kind of a bridge. Is he young? Is he old? I can't tell.
he's old. Dan.
He's
That's
like
why
middle.
I asked.
He's like middle generation.
That's why I asked the question. Tatum feels old.
But look, man, OKC has a chance to be here for a really long time.
The most fascinating part is there's actually 3 generations right now, right? Because we're talking about the old guys. We're talking about LeBron and Steph and KD. Then you're talking about those next level, which is Giannis and Embiid and Jokic, who are all of one age before that young group. And they,
the really
right now,
young group,
right?
yes.
They have a chance to solidify their legacy. So Embiid, who's 30, needs to get through the East now when you have it up in the air like that. That's why he comes back and plays this year. Giannis wants to get another championship. This Boston Celtics team, if they flame out and don't get to the finals, you could see that core change. So in the West, we have the play-in game to thank for all of this. Because in the Western Conference, you're going to have essentially Game 7 matchups between LeBron and Steph, between KD and Steph, between KD and LeBron potentially, because all of those teams are sitting there at 7 and 8. It is a fascinating time in the NBA.
And I think that with the Boston Celtics being involved in one of those teams, their late game immaturity, the late game one-on-one between the legs, fadeaway jump shot, that's going to come back to bite you at some point, brothers.
Think about the talent we're talking about, where I'm talking about the young people and Luka's middle-aged.
Would you punch
For
Paul
sure.
Pierce if you saw him at the grocery store?
Good question.
You know what? My violent days are over with, man. Those days are over with.
But it's Pierce.
I'm a
I mean-
lover, not a fighter, right? Yeah. My fighting days are over with.
Alonzo Mourning is the best center in Heat history. Zoe or no?
So,
Alonzo Mourning.
Yes.
Alonzo Mourning is the greatest center in Georgetown history. Zoe or no?
well, no, because Patrick won a championship there.
Wow, look at
The ring
that.
thing.
Look at that. Billy, that's disrespectful what you just did there. Who are you saying? You're saying Shaq? You're saying Shaquille O'Neal?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just
Okay,
here.
well, it
yeah.
seems like you're saying something.
Yeah,
So Vince Carter, I'm curious here. I don't know if this has come across your computer or not, but Vince Carter was elected to the Hall of Fame, and he says he dunked over you in 2005, and he told the guys at All the Smoke that you did not talk to him for 6 or 7 years after that dunk because Nike used a clip of it in a commercial without your permission. Is that true or untrue?
it's not true at all. I mean, I don't know why he would sensationalize that at all,
Don't show the
but
dunk.
that's not true. I mean, it was an incredible.
Damn it.
Listen, it was an incredible dunk. It really was. But I will tell you this: not one time do people show all the times that I blocked the shot.
Can you guys
That's right, so.
Be a lame commercial.
Can you
honestly.
guys please find for me the footage, put it in the corner of the screen, of all the times Alonzo Mourning blocked Vince Carter's shot? How many
Really
times?
easy task for video, Dan.
How many times was it? Zoe is asking for it. It's different than when Samson does
That's
it.
true.
It was a whole lot more than when he dunked on me. It was a lot more than when he dunked on me. Trust me.
Zoe, do you have a favorite dunk a favorite block of all time? Because I felt like you prided yourself on being Defensive Player of the Year even more than you did.
All the blocks that I had in the 2006 NBA Finals game, Game 6.
Mm-hmm.
All the blocks that I had were my favorite blocks. All of those.
You were a crazy person in that series. You were a lunatic. I wouldn't have wanted to put anyone near you for the 14 minutes a game that you were fire hosing all over the court.
Hey man, I was like a shark in bloody water, man. I could smell victory, you know. So I wanted to be a part of history and win a championship for this franchise. So I did whatever humanly possible I could do out there on the court to try to help us cross the finish line. And I was given that opportunity by Pat Riley.
I would argue that it is, and I don't have any others for reference here, but outside of Magic Johnson in a final when he was replacing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at center, it is the greatest performance I have ever seen from a backup center.
The 14 minutes, 5 blocks.
He shouldn't have even been playing behind
It was
Shaq.
outrageous.
So the only reason they kept playing Shaq in that series is because Avery Johnson wouldn't stop doubling him. Otherwise, they would have had Zoe out there for 34 minutes a game. In fact, during that series, Zoe, were you guys all laughing? Why is he still doubling Shaq? How does he not know that you have to stop Wade here?
Yeah. Well, you know what? The game plan didn't work. You know, our supporting cast came in and contributed extremely well. Posey, Jay Will, you know, Antoine, I mean, GP, all of us, you know, we came in and contributed. It was a team effort. And it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch it all come together at the right time for us, you know. So I'm very proud to have been a part of that team.
Zoe, do you miss that NBA, like back in the 90s, 80s, early 2000s, where centers, they were playing? You do, right?
I do. You know, but listen, you know, I give.
Get it out of here, MJ.
Oh, MJ,
Yeah.
you're blocking MJ there. Oh, look, now we're playing on the screen. No, now we're playing the good stuff on the screen. How many times did he get MJ? How many times did you block MJ clean?
Yeah, I've got MJ a couple of times, but he dunked on me as well, So listen, if you're a shot blocker, you're gonna get dunked on.
Ooh,
It's just gonna
supreme
happen.
box, brother. But by the way,
Yeah,
top
yeah.
5 boxes in the game when you play for Charlotte. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
box game was on point.
So to my point, Adam Silver has done an incredible job. He really has, of growing this game globally, and really helping to develop the young generation from a skill perspective. Now you got the younger generation coming into this league, and they're so highly skilled. More importantly, the international players, they're coming in extremely skilled, because the game has evolved so much from an inside game or back to the basket game to more of a perimeter-oriented game. So now you got to really be able to handle the ball and really stick shots from the outside.
Can you give me a name, Zoe, that all these years later, you say you're a lover, not a fighter, you can't go back rummaging around in the nostalgia bin, but give me a name of a guy that the wars were so fierce with that even if you saw him now at like the Hall of Fame cocktail party, you're like, I don't want to talk to that dude. I got no interest in. I'm
not punch him, just don't talk to him.
I'm still mad about everything that happened. I don't like it, and I just don't want to talk to that person.
Hey, but you know what, Dan? I mean, I would make myself sick if I held on to any type of animosity or anything like that. I don't. I haven't.
No.
I've let all that stuff go, and I look at everybody that I competed against, at that time I looked at them as adversaries, but now, it's been a blessing to have been a part of that era, because I grew as a person. I really did. I grew as a person, and I think I'm so much better because of it. And I appreciate the game even more because now I look how the game is being played now. Look how it was being played back then, and it was a lot tougher back then. It really was. It was hard to even, but against certain teams, it was hard to even score, 85, 90 points, because of the level of physicality and the defense that was being played. So it's definitely a different era and a different game.
I will tell the audience again that Zoe lives in service of really wonderful causes in South Florida and has for 30 years. Had a festival of basketball celebrity down here at the time that he was making the Miami Heat what they are today before Shaq got here and before any of the stuff that ended up blowing up in Miami. OvertownYouth.org is where you go if you want to be a part of our audience that just simply helps Zoe right now, because I'm promising you that the money and the effort goes into a really soulful place. But I'm done.
Well, Dan, more importantly, you're helping young people because all of our services that we provide, we don't charge the families in the inner city. We don't charge them one dime. So when they come through those doors, we provide all of our services, whether it be in school, after school, summer programming, our technology centers, our dance studio, our mental health and wellness, all of those services are free. We go out and raise the money. So all the money that's given helps us sustain the work that we're doing and continually growing and impacting the community in a positive way.
And in the name of serving the people that you are serving, I will tell the audience again, OvertownYouth.org is a worthy cause for the things that Zoe believes in. But I am officially done with the buttering up, and now what I need from you is content that gets out into the masses. So this is what I want to do, Zoe. I am granting your request. You have finally asked that we show the time that you blocked Vince Carter. So now you go ahead and tell Vince Carter what you want to tell him as you throw it to this video and then do play-by-play. You tell Vince Carter, why are you running around telling us that I haven't talked to you for 6 or 7 years about the time that you dunked on me? Go ahead. The floor.
But Dan, what am I going to get out of that? What am I getting out of that, Dan? He knows.
Clicks.
He already knows.
You're getting us clicks. You're not getting any. Well, you're getting.
You get nothing.
No, he's getting.
Dan will donate $10,000
You get promotion.
He's
to
getting.
charity
He's
if
getting
you do it.
money to Overtown Youth.
$20,000 on Dan.
That's what
if
he
you
is
do
getting.
$30,000.
Billy is willing to put his salary, a percentage of his salary. Well, then why would you do it to me? Yeah, why would you do it to me then? Yes, of course, no.
Your salary is more.
I'll be charitable when I want to be, not when I'm bullied on air by you to be charitable. So you don't want to throw it to this video? Would you just like to watch it with us? Enjoy it with us?
I mean, you can give the commentary, Dan. You're pretty good at that.
I give the commentary. Go ahead, roll
All right.
it, Lewis.
Roll it.
Vince,
All right.
Vince Carter comes in on the guard. Get the out of here.
Yeah.
Alonzo Mourning smacks it into the next
help
century.
side.
He tells that dinosaur wearing person on the chest, get it out of here. Don't bring it back.
Peeing in the pool, Zoe or no?
Oh, man. Hey, Zoe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
Just all day long.
So
Peeing
definitely in the
pool.
shower, correct? Zoe or no?
all-
Right? Shower? Shower?
All day long.
Shower?
Oh, man.
Shower?
Let's play for Zoe here very quickly. Just people are wondering, in this famous GIF, I don't know when you've seen it, how you've seen it. Please tell us what you're thinking here. Do you remember what you were thinking on the bench, shaking your head, but then something dawned on you that you realized, well, it's not all that bad. What happened there? No.
Listen, do you see the score? Do you see the score?
Yeah.
Yes.
You were down by 30
Yes.
at home.
Yeah,
All
but
right, you see why I was shaking. That's why I was shaking my head. Okay.
but what?
At least I
but-
still got
And
the
then
condo
the
in
look
Miami.
of this was the first game. This was ring night. That was ring night, I think. The first game of the season. Remember when they blew us out?
oh, that's
Chicago
right.
came in here
Yes.
and blew us out.
Yes.
So you got your rings
Yeah,
and the Bulls
so
are blowing
that
you
was-
out at
that
home
was-
by 30,
Oh,
right?
so
Yes.
you're legitimately thinking there, yeah, we lost by 30, but we did get our rings tonight from the season before. So
Yeah,
So thank you, buddy. Thank you for being on with us. Appreciate the work you do.
Oh, man. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for having me on, fellas. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Zoe.
We are a strange show that sometimes has the news and forgets to report it, as we did on Skip Schumacher, and more recently, and this one was my error, and good Lord, was it a flub. I think it would have been a pretty big story if I had announced, like I'd known, that Tyson was going to fight Jake Paul. But I thought everyone here knew it was common information. I come in and I ask, does everyone know this? And they look up on the internet and they're like, nope, it can't be real. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's all done, and then we don't report it.
Mm-hmm.
We did some reporting here. Juju Gotti has finally phoned somebody who can give us an answer to the question, and I might be talking totally out of my ass here because I don't know what I'm talking about. I think and assume that more people are going to be betting on the men. That if the women are going to be grabbed by gambling, or if the newcomers are going to be grabbed by gambling because they're interested in the Iowa phenomenon, it's not going to happen upon arrival. That it's going to be happening here over the next few years when, of course, the gambling industry also comes with the same sort of fervor to women's sports than it does to men. But I don't have any information. So we called DraftKings, and what did they tell you, Juju?
They said they couldn't get into too many specifics at all because, you know what I mean, legal battles and whatnot. But they said Iowa versus South Carolina was the most bet women's event in DKSB, DraftKings Sportsbook, history across any sport. The women's tournament had 3.8 times more handle and 3.5 times more bets than 2023. UConn and versus Purdue, however, was the most bet basketball game of all time on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Wow. I have to think that's people like UConn. They were breezing through the tournament. Why not bet them in the final, right?
No, that's not just random gamblers. That is that everything you saw with the ratings. Look, I think this was fairly obvious. This ratings explosion that you just saw, not just in women's basketball, the men were getting monster numbers too, is absolutely fueled by, I don't care who's playing, I don't know anybody, there are just people running up and down the court with my money. I can bet a noon game, I can bet a midnight game, just give me action. It's not because UConn is an obvious betting favorite. It's because the culmination of all the gambling that just went on culminates with, of course, if more people are watching and more people are betting, it's going to be a gambling explosion too around, because this is made for television entertainment. All of it, man, at this point, sports is a contrivance that just exists for the action. Fantasy leagues come to life. Everybody wants more stimuli with their action. So I don't want to just watch one game. No, I want to bet the first half, the second half, parlay over here. I want to have prop bets. I want to have action all over the place so I care in the third quarter whether my guy gets three-pointers. Like, that's what we're doing with gambling and making all of it interactive. And so, of course, if you can go to your television at any time or day or night and become Las Vegas because you have money on what's happening on your television, of course, gambling's going to catch fire all over the country and viewing habits are going to skyrocket and the streaming services are going to want to get involved because everybody wants to be around the action. Why are you making a face, Billy?
Did you say gambling?
Oh,
you know what time it is.
Led you right to it.
Great words, but though, Dan, great words.
Dan, it's that time again. It's time for Against the Spread. Against the Spread is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Stugotz, before we get to that, my theory would be that the reason UConn Purdue is the most gambled-on game of all time is because, for now, what has been normalized is the betting en masse on men's sports. That's what most of us have been doing around here for a long time, and I'm guessing a predominantly male gambling audience, a largely male gambling audience, has also been betting on the men for a long time, and this is the year that it's exploded on the women's side.
I'm just speaking for myself, Dan, and applying my own sensibilities. I don't think I bet UConn once until the championship game because they were steamrolling everyone, and I was like, hey, I don't want to miss out on this.
You're always speaking for yourself and always thinking that it speaks for America, and I don't think you speak for everybody when the numbers are that disparate. 18 million are watching the women. Yep. 14 million are watching the men, but a lot more money is coming in on the men than the women, even though you've got 4 million fewer people watching. I'm telling you, the part of the purity that Lucy has around the sport, it still exists over with the women where it hasn't been contaminated by all the things yet.
And I'm just saying that I didn't want to bet against Caitlin Clark because I didn't want to be the person that bet against Caitlin Clark and lost. I did want to bet on UConn because I didn't want to be the guy who didn't bet on UConn.
Lucy, I would say that your expertise in this sport would suggest to Stugotz that South Carolina was a bigger favorite, not numerically, but a more obvious choice in that game than even UConn was, given how overwhelming South Carolina was for the last 3 seasons.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that just because Iowa had beat this South Carolina team before. So, like, betting-wise, it's always tough to bet against Caitlin Clark. But
you know what I'm saying?
Homer.
Take the Marlins today. Plus 1.5 against the spread.
You're buying a run. You want to win.
That's the spread, plus 1.5.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Yankees have to score 2 runs or win by 2 runs to beat the Marlins.
They have to score 2 runs.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? Because you look at this and you think, Billy, the Marlins right now are 1-11. Ryan Weathers has struggled a bit. Who's he pitching against? Marcus Stroman. He's been incredible so far. What does he have? Like a 0 ERA, like a .8 whip? I go, yeah, how do you know that? You're looking this up or something? I'm talking to an incredible baseball fan right now who knows all this information right off the top of their head. Why would you take the Marlins plus 1.5 over the Yankees with these odds? You know why, Dan? Because baseball. That's why. I'm going to take the Marlins plus 1.5 over the Yankees today against the spread.
It's a terrible analysis, and I'm not even saying that
analysis.
I won last time.
That
if
he
you
won't.
remember.
I'm not saying that he won't win the bet, but in terms of analysis, there's rarely anything worse than DraftKings could be sponsoring than why did you bet it that way? Oh, because baseball.
Shanalysis.
It is. That's Shanalysis from Billy Gill.
Baseball.
Bet on baseball to be baseball. Why? There's no logic. The Yankees are overwhelming. They've kicked the out of the Marlins. The Marlins are losing to everyone. They lost to the Pirates. They lost at home. They got swept. They lost to the Angels.
They've lost 2 straight to the Yankees,
Why
but
do
not
I,
today.
Why do I bet them? Because
They're due.
Baseball. No, not their due, Stugotz.
get it.
That's different stupidity. No,
Yep.
he doesn't get it. No, he does not. That's a different gambling stupidity. Their due is
Well,
different.
that's part of baseball.
Totally different. Not part of baseball. You bet baseball. Do we have any other bets that are smarter than that one?
Yes, I'm headed to the association. Side note, next week, let's get some new music for Against the Spread. I feel like
Whoa.
this music has ran its course.
Really?
I'm going to put that on the poll. Put it on the poll, Dan.
Really?
Dan, put this on the poll. Do you like the Against the Spread music? Neither here nor there. I'm going to take the Dallas Mavericks. They're coming into the 305 tonight.
Really?
-3. I see that look in Luka Doncic's eyes, and I don't see the same look across the Heat organization. You feel me now?
Even worse
Nikola-
analysis.
Wait a minute.
Even worse
No.
analysis.
Listen, wait, hold on.
The
Don't-
look.
Just wait for 1 second. Now, Nikola Jovic has stepped up and shown that he's a rookie that
He's
can be
awesome.
depended on. In spite of Terry Rozier dealing with injury, in spite of Bam sometimes turning into Idris lately, in spite of Jimmy Butler putting up subpar efforts, I think that the double overtime win in Atlanta last night brought them together. But I just think that the Dallas Mavericks are hotter right now because they're getting exceptional play from P.J. Washington. They're getting exceptional play from the bigs. They're getting exceptional play from Daniel Gafford these days, along with the superstar Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. So I'm going to take the Dallas Mavericks against the spread against the Heat tonight, -3.
All right. I don't mind the segment, but again, Billy going, I'm betting because it's baseball. And Juju saying, I see it in their eyes. They were brought together.
Yeah.
They were brought together.
I've got better
did you not
analysis
hear-
for you, Dan.
Did you hear? I said Daniel Gafford's name in there.
Yeah.
I said
I said ERA.
Don't overlook my analysis just because it doesn't as pretty as you want it to be.
Yeah.
So.
Dan, I know nothing about golf, but SVP told me Corey Connors is a name to watch. So Corey Connors plus 6,000.
What?
Against the spread.
The spread.
Plus?
Odds to win a.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
That analysis was because SVP said so.
Yeah. That's good analysis, right?
I mean, I just don't think DraftKings is going to renew our contract.
Oh, well.
They got a lot of money.
Well, then hopefully they
Everybody
will
bet
with
on those
this one.
games.
I've got the Orlando Magic beating the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm taking the Orlando Magic -1. A little bit of a pick 'em. Guess why, Dano?
Basketball.
No Giannis.
Avoided
that's
serious
real.
injury.
Chris Middleton, however, has been stepping up lately. He's been coming off of his injury as well, but he's taking more of the reins. And look, spoiler alert, Patrick Beverly, he's going to be a major piece on his team come playoff time.
Heat in 5.
I'm worried about our future with DraftKings.
I think everyone did great.
Against the spread.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.